Egypt's media generally has been a great supporter of the government in its war on terror, but at the moment there is dissent. The spur was the recent attacks by Islamist militants in the Sinai. The military announced 21 people had been killed. Some media put the toll at 3 times that number. And now draft legislation is on the table that seeks to criminalize journalists who don't stick to the official version of events. Media groups are worried.
Journalists are not against a penalty if a journalist deliberately reported false news, and we must stress on deliberate because otherwise we are subject to false news and we usually publish a correction. If it's proved that a journalist did that on purpose, that's a threat to national security, and it's no longer a publishing violation, it's a criminal act.
No one is against the terrorism law. No one denies that Egypt is in exceptional circumstances, and in such periods the constitution specifies how to deal with it using exceptional measures. But more importantly, there must be a committee in the press syndicate to deal with the ethical violations. Penalties must come from the syndicate first.
The draft law also proposes to fast-track trials for suspected terrorists and harsher sentences. It also gives a broad definition of terrorism. In one clause, it's anything that, quote, disturbs public order and social peace. The government, though, says it's needed.
The law is important. There is no country that wants to preserve its national security unless it has a terrorism law. There are some countries who do not suffer from terrorism, but they still have one. Egypt is one of the countries that terrorism develops in. The chief of Al-Qaeda, Ayman aka Zawahiri, is Egyptian. There are brigades in Iraq and Syria, all Egyptians. Therefore, the situation is dangerous. I need the law and I want to focus on the trial procedures and the penalties.
The Egyptian National Council for Human Rights, which was appointed by the interim president, also is alarmed. The constitution stipulates that it should have been consulted. So far, that has not happened. The government is currently revising the draft law. The law is one of a bundle of legislations issued by the presidency after the escalated attacks against the armed forces in the Sinai. One law gives the president the right to sack chiefs of organizations that monitors the government's performance and investigates corruption. The president promised to hit back terrorism with an iron fist. It seems that he wants to do so without interruption. Adel, Mahrouky, CCTV, Cairo.